Another day, another race. This one is the stage 4, the Fresh Out of 24 series on breakfast crits and grits. This is in the 350 to 520 pen. I had just raced this one Wednesday on in the dirt racing series, the Winter Warriors series, and familiar with the course, familiar with how it should play out. At least I hope. The pens should be similar because I was in the platinum pen there, which is 1150 to 1300 on the VELOscores chart, and this one is 350 to 520. So hopefully around the same. I'm at the lower end of the of both of these categories, so I'm not expecting to be close to the front, close to the top. I know at some point I will get dropped. So I'm just fighting my hardest just not to get dropped so early. Out of the gate, it was really fast, really hard. I thought there'd be a little bit of a slow build up to the climb, but no, it was full gas from as soon as it started. So fighting my best to get up this climb and working the legs. I had done one of the race warm-ups, the Racer's Edge race warm-ups before this, hoping that would help, hoping that would work. Can't say if it did or it didn't. This was just a really tough pen. Coming through here, you can see my previous PR was 159, and I beat it by over 10 seconds at 148. Just that's how fast this group was. And even going downhill, no one let off the gas. People still pushing over 4 watts a kilo going downhill. The front of the group was just really, really fast, really, really strong. It was shocking to say the least how much faster this group was than the platinum group in the dirt racing series. Looking at the results afterwards, it was not even close. The How quickly this race was done, I think it was a full 2 minutes faster this race than the one with the dirt racing series. And again, should have been somewhat similar given um, the pens and where things were. Like the platinum pen should be somewhere around the 350 to 520, but not at all. So coming into this one, again, I'm almost at my lactate threshold here, and it's still just 5 minutes in. And looking at my power numbers afterwards, I had my second best 5 minute power of the year, my third best 10 minute, and my second best 20 minute. So usually I'm not able to combine so many different power ranges in terms of getting good performance out of them. And there we go, dropped about 7 minutes in. Um, that group is gone. So I ease up a little, try to catch my breath. Um, but there's no way that I was catching that group. This group behind is going to come up and catch me pretty soon, and then we'll go from there. See what I can do with the next group. But like I said, it was really, really fast and shocking the power numbers that I was seeing when I was looking at the results in this one. So here comes this group here. Again, just hoping to catch on, and hopefully this is a group that I can ride with to the end. Not expecting a high placement, so just want to have some company and a draft. But this guy's pushing hard. So this person, Curran, I can't remember if it's Tim or who it was, but you can see the power that he's pushing here. Um, so he had this kind of power. His heart rate was only 111, and on his Zwift profile, it shows him being 61. So maybe he's a super athlete, but if he is, then perhaps he shouldn't be in the 350 to 520 pen. If he's able to do that at that heart rate, something's off. And looking at throughout the field, there were at least 10 people with no heart rate monitors or just zero BPM. So they're either doing this from the grave, or they just not using a heart rate monitor for whatever reason. They don't want to use a heart rate monitor. So dropped again, this time 13 minutes in. But here we go. Maybe there's some more company coming up. So another rider comes up. Hopefully this is someone who I can ride with till the end. Again, knowing the race has been over now for a while, I just wanted to just have some company and draft. So here we go. Another group coming through and hoping to get some draft. Just some draft and some company. Some draft and some company. That's all I'm hoping for at this point. But even here, in this group of people who were dropped early, a lot of big power getting pushed through. Um, Trying to save, I wanted to save that feather for the breakaway Bray, just so I wouldn't get dropped. We've got, I think, one, two, three, four of those coming up, which just are deadly, just to do them on repeat. Again, did this one for just a week ago with the Dirt Racing Series. So it by the fourth one, I'm just cooked. So just wanting to stay in the group, doing my best, fighting, fighting, fighting. 45, it's not bad. I think last week we were doing faster than that, but there wasn't such a hard push out of the gate. So I think people had some more gas left in the tank when we reached that last week in the Dirt Racing Series. And going through sort of lap, 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 four times, hanging onto the back of the group. Even at sort of the very minor places, people are still really fighting hard, which is good, I suppose, that people aren't just sort of packing it in, but different than a lot of races that I'm used to, where usually at this point in the race, if people are this far behind, no one's really pushing it. I just let the wheel go there. I just kind of tired and see if these guys will pick it up and pull me back. We'll see. Um, but again, struggling, just having a hard time with everything here. So at the back of this pack, I don't think I'm going to get over this one. And then, yep, gone. I just nothing left here. So I just, okay, well, maybe I'll ride with this guy till the end and see how it goes. So as we sort of play out towards the end of this, I'm not sure what is happening with the latest version. I'm not sure which version of Racing Score it is now, but I know my score had gone down quite a bit when they did the most recent resets. I'm not sure whether just everyone's score went down, and sort of we're getting a lot of the people who were in the higher categories now dropping into the 350 to 520 categories. Um, Whether it was across the board or whether there's any sort of mix, I don't know what other people are seeing here. It's so maybe that's it. Maybe it was just sort of like a drop down across the board. So a lot of people who were in higher categories before are now back in lower categories. So, but like I said, I didn't have any expectations going into this one. I know where I'm sitting at. I'm relatively low in the field, but just for this race to be that much harder um, than the similar course in the dirt racing series with what should be a similar level of rider, there's still something that seems to be off. That um, the number of people who are averaging 4 watts and more for the whole 30 plus minutes of this course is um, was surprising, and it's a bit discouraging, to be honest, that this is now what I'm facing. So I don't know. Maybe I'll stick with maybe I'll stick with ladder racing, where using the velo scores, it seems to be a little bit closer, or maybe just stick with things like dirt racing and other series who are still using the Zwift racing app VELOscore, which seems to be more dialed in than the racing score, which is still seems to be very much a work in progress, and seems to be all over the board. Given that they're changing it almost on a monthly basis as they still try to figure things out, tells me that they're still There are still some flaws. It's not just me. I think there's a lot of discussion about it uh, all over the all over the Zwift forums, and a lot of people having some challenges with sort of trying to understand how this is working. And maybe the challenge is that there are only 5 pens, and racing series that can offer more than 5 pens are just having a better go with it. So last climb again, I just want to finish at this point. I'd like to beat this guy. There's always the race within the race, but I am just cooked, and he has something left in his legs to go, and good for him. But I am just glad that that race is done.